Hi everyone, this is Kelly with Kelly Ann Crafts. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in McKinney, Texas, and this is my fourth and final card for the month of November. I am making a gift card holder, and we're going to use a number of different stamps. This one is not necessarily using something that is not winter for this card. I use the stamp set filled with cheer for for my sentiment. I used some dies that are the season's greetings. I believe that's what I think that's. Is it season's greetings? It's greetings of the season. It'd help if I would get it not transposed. And I used some stamps from the Greenery Golden Greenery stamp set. These items happen to be online. This stamp set and these dies, I used those for the foliage. And then I used the stamp set. I used a stamp for my envelope. So I used one of the stamps in here for the envelope. And then we have the greetings of season dies. So I just have to pull this out and get it put it on a block for us so that we can use that going forward. There we go. Tap, tap. It's all good. All good. So we're going to be using just the one stamp. And these are the dies that I use, Seasons of Greeting. This, again, is an online item. But we're using these tags. And the way we're going to use these tags, it will not look like a tag when we're done. So I like that fact that we can cover it up. And I hope you like that too. This is a fun gift card. And I did get this from, it was either, well, it was one of four people. So it was either Wendy Lee or Sharon Armstrong or Dawn Griffith or possibly Connie Stewart. I can't remember who I saw it with, but it's been a while. This is a lovely, lovely gift card. And I brought out the Lost Lagoon, but what I need is the pretty Peacock. So we are going to be using paper from the Winter Meadows DSP. This is in the annual catalog. So I'm kind of mixing things from annual to online. So I think this will be fun. I hope you will enjoy this. It's really a simple card. And I just love it. And then the back side is where you can put your sentiment, put your writing, Happy Christmas. This could even be a birthday card. It's just using winter paper. So what I tend to do when I make one of these is I take an old gift card that is expired and just make sure it fits in there nice and neat. That way I know I've got enough room to do this with. So yeah, it's really easy to do it that way. I think it's simpler than anything else. So let's get started here. Let me take the K off my envelope. This is so I know this one is for me. If I do anything weird or I have a weird thing with the card set that I made, that becomes the Kelly set. So we've got a base. This base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We have one piece of white DSP. Is our basic white. This is scored at 4 and 5 1/4. And that's the back side of our card. Then for the other side of the card, we have a designer series paper, and this again is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Now I'm making this a landscape card. You could certainly make it the other direction if you like. This piece here is 7 by, no, it is 6 1/2 by 3. And it's scored at 3 1/4. I scored it wrong, so that's why it's mine. But once it's down, it'll be really not very noticeable. If anybody notices it, they're looking too hard. You should have a piece of vellum. you should have a piece of designer series paper. I thought this was for the envelope, but really it is for my I'm so silly. It is for the inside of the little itty bitty card for the for our little pocket for our gift card. So there you go. You will have one piece of foliage. You'll have 3 tags. Okay, 3 tags here. And then you'll have 2 pieces of other foliage. Now we're going to cut those to size, and then we're going to snip up the other piece. Okay, so we're going to snip that into 3 pieces, and then once we've done that, we will adhere it in different spots. It'll all come out good. You'll see here in a second. But it's a way to make it look different than what you normally. I didn't want to put that whole piece. It's a little heavy for the front of this card, so we're going to chop her up and make her our own. So at this point, I'm going to, we have to have a piece of that for our back side of our card, and we'll have to have some other. So let's get started here. Let me move some stuff out of the way. Put our little bits over there, our tags over there, and we will start with some of the basic stuff. We will start with our back piece. We will put that on first. I know it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, but I really do know what I'm doing here. Got a little schnibble from the last card there. I really have a messy desk. Okay, this is just going to go on the back, leaving approximately an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Put it on as straight as you can, and then flip it over. And now we're going to put on the designer series paper. Now this designer series paper could be used on either side. I just chose the trees. I like the trees. It just seemed more festive or wintry to me. And it doesn't matter which way you put it on, because this doesn't open up any which way, so it's all going to be in the right way. So that's the front, that's the back. We'll put that aside. Now we'll create our little pocket and everything. So vellum is see-through, so you can put your adhesive in the middle of the paper and put it down. It's not going to show once we get everything on, so just so you know, you can see that it lifts everywhere. And the vellum is darker white on one side than it is on the other side, so we want to put the adhesive on the duller side. And I'm just going to put some down the middle. I'm using my seal here. I would not use glue with this. If you have tape, I would do tape. That's just me. In this specific thing, I would do it that way. Your vellum should fit, really close to the same size of the paper. And I'm just making sure I've got it on the side I want it before I set it down. So, okay, it's going to have a very, very thin border, if much. There's not much of a border on this. It's pretty close to the same size. But as you can see, as I adhere it down, you can see right where that adhesive is. Okay, but that's not going to show going forward. Now we're going to put on our little pocket. And for this, I use glue. I always use glue for this part. And you can, if you have a thin enough tape or adhesive tape or, tear and seal tape, you could do that. I just want it to be adhered about 1/8 of an inch. Nothing more, nothing less. So I just kind of center it where I think it should be. I take my old card and put it over it. And the reason for that is so that I can make sure it's got a little bit of room there. And then what I'm going to do is just leave it there, press it down all the way around. Okay. And then I'm just going to let that dry for a moment or two. Okay. But I want it to kind of have a little bow in it so that you can easily get your gift card in there. Now you could put a little piece of white paper on the top to write a message that says, Merry Birthday, or happy, happy, I don't know, slap shot, whatever. If you played hockey, you'd understand that. Maybe you got a hat trick. That would be cool. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to stamp our sentiment, and we're using Pretty Peacock, and we're going to put in the hello, you know, a warm hello, and I'm going to put it off to the side because I want foliage and stuff to go on one side, so I'm going to put it off to the side, and so we'll stamp that down there, straight down, we commit. Look at that, my fingernails pretty much match everything I'm doing with this one card. That is funny. Okay, and now I'm going to take the Pretty Peacock and my other stamp set, and I'm going to go ahead and put my messy paper underneath it. I could stamp on the paper that's sitting on the glass mat. It's just that it looks really messy after a while, so I just don't. And then I'm going to do the second generation on the front on this one. You don't have to. You could re-ink it. But because it's messed up, because only part of it was stamped on the first one, I'm going to re-ink it and stamp off because I want a second generation. So here we go. It's just a little bit lighter. That's all. I just think it's fun. It kind of brings in the dark and the light from the paper inside, which you wouldn't know from the outside. So I think that's good. Let's put this away before I wear it. It's always a good thing to put that away before I wear it. And so now we're going to start. We can put this aside to dry. I like to let the envelopes and stuff dry a little bit, only because sometimes the ink is a little bit wet. So we're going to start assembling the front of this, and I'm going to put this down. There we go. So I can go ahead and put that on, put my adhesive on here, and I'm just going to run, not all the way because some of it's going to hang off, but you know what, I think before we build up the front, it's always best to put this on while it's still flat, because then you can get your adhesive on the back. Now if you're using glue, you could do it later, but I want to do it now. There's my favorite Z, and this is just going to go on there as straight as I can do it with an equal border all the way around as best I can do. I eyeball it, but that's just me. Okay, so we've got that together, and now let's put our first tag on. And look at that, almost all of that adhesive is covered up with the very first one. You barely can tell there's adhesive under there. The next one goes together. These two get put together. So at this time I'm going to put, I can use the tape or the seal on here. Boy, I can't talk. Anyways. It's always fun to see how and what I say while I do these videos. My goodness. Okay, so that's going to go on there. But before we put that down, we need to put our little green evergreen sprigs inside. So I just decide where they're going to be. And you don't really want them hanging off, especially on the top one because it folds up. Okay, so I just figure out where I need it. And then if it's too much, just cut it off. I mean, these aren't the full thing to begin with because there was no sense in wasting paper to do this. So instead, what I did is I just cut on little scraps of paper. So you just need a little bit of glue to adhere it down. And just, again, make sure that top one is going to be, you know, before you can fold it up without crunching that part. And then this one can just fit on there, and you may or may not need to cut it. Again, it's not going to matter as much on the bottom one, but I still, if it's too much, I like it to be the same. So again, just a little bit of glue here and there, not a whole lot. It's okay. You just need, you're going to have other things on top of it, so you should be good. So it is. Push it down and let it sit there. Now, the interesting part comes with where to cut this. And it's all up to you. The object here is to put two little sprigs on the front that cover up the hole that is the tag. Okay, so if you want just one sprig on the front, that's fine too. Just make sure you cut off a piece for the back. So I just kind of look at this and just snip away, and do the best you can. There's really no right or wrong to it. I just try to take the path of least snips through this first one, and then later on I'll do something different. So this is my first one, and if it's too long, I will take it off. So that one's pretty good right there. I could do that like that, but I also want a little bit more on there. So I'm going to cut off another little piece. I'm just turning it another direction so that I can snip off a little bit here and there. Yeah, it really is. There is no real science to this. It's just whatever looks right to you is how you snip it. I guess that's the best way to say it. And once you get it snipped, then I come in and I go ahead and just make it, a little smoother here and there. So if there's some little sprigs on it, I cut those little bits off. And then again with the other one, now this one's going to go on the back. So I'm going to make sure it looks pretty nice so you can't see where I actually cut straight across. I'll round it a little bit. I'll fix the sprig here so it's not, that little bit's going to get pitched. And I'll just look at these and make sure that they look good. So that's my back side one. And this is my front one. I'm just going to go through and just round off those edges. I think it's really important to do that. And it's not that hard. It's just making it look aesthetically how you want it to look. So let's see, am I going to cut any more off? I think not. Okay, I think we've got it good. So I'm going to put this one piece on first. And I'm going to, well, I won't put that on. I'm going to put my dimensionals on, and then I'll place this on the card so that I know where I want it to go. So I use a few dimensionals. We all know that this is my favorite part of making cards, is adding these little buddies. These buddies are my friend. Love them, love them, love them. Just love them, love them, love them. And again, as you know, they are cheap as chips. Cheap as chips. You can use your pokey tool to take this off, or you take your pick tool. My fingernails are long enough that I can just pop them off with my fingernails. And I can usually get about 6 of them before I have to pitch them in the bin. Okay, so that's just going to go on there where I think it looks good. I'm going to press that down. And now I'm going to adhere my little foliages, Again, you don't want them to stick up over the top fold. But I just put a little bit of glue on in a couple of places, and there you have it. Isn't that nice? And then this one, I'm just going to put some glue on it in a few places again. And as you can see, I don't put a lot of glue on there. You don't really need a whole ton of glue. You just need a little bit. But then there's me, and I get glue all over everything because I drop stuff. But I can fix that. Now maybe put a little bit back on here because I think I rubbed off a little bit when I don't use a lot. That's what happens. Okay, so let's put this on here. It does kind of look like I'm covering up a lot, but when you see it up front, it shows the dimension, and that's what I was going for on that one. And so now, I think I need to move over a little bit here. Yeah, that's better. With glue, you've got a moment to move it about, which is what I did. So on our other one, I used the sequins. I used sequins on there, and I used the white ones. On this one, I think I may just switch it up and use another color. So let me get them out. They are called the, oh gosh, well, they're the triple sequences, and they have like a pink Peacock, so adhesive back sequence, that's what they're called. I always have to look. I used white before, but this time I am going to use the Peacock because I happen to like the Peacock ones, and I'm running out of the white ones, so let's use the Peacock ones just to shake it up a little bit. I'm going to put on a total of 3. It's not a big deal where they go. They just kind of go anywhere you want to put them. Anywhere you want to put them. I'll put one down there. That looks good. And what's nice about them is they're flat. So when you mail, they usually don't cause an issue when you're mailing. I'm learning I like sequins better than I like those little beads, unless they're kind of flat. The flat ones work pretty good. So there you have it. We have both our gift cards done. This one's got the pretty peacock on it. And I really, really like this. Again, use a old gift card. That way you know for sure it fits in there. Oh, we didn't do the back. Let me put that on the back here. Silly me. We aren't done. We need more glue. Let's get our glue. Again, just a little dab will do you on a few of those, and then maybe towards the base. Let's see if I do the base. Yes, got to do the base. There you go. Just a little bit. Okay. And I'm just going to place this here, sort of on the side, set her down. And I think that just finishes it off. It's kind of sweet and everything. I hope you like this. Again, if it's a gift card, it'll slide right in if you've given it room. Now, if you really want to make sure once it's dry to put a card in there, you can, and then just press down along the sides so it feels like it's got an opening. It'll have a little give to it. So here we have the one for tonight using the pretty peacock, and then also using the white ones. Let me know which one you like. Please put that in the comments. I would really like to know which one you preferred. So I want to thank you for joining me today, and I just love this gift card. It's so pretty. Again, thank you. Please like, share, please subscribe, and hit that notification button so that you're notified when I put on my next videos. Thanks again. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.